So, Heather, tell me about your business.
We're landscape contractors, so we are in the business of selling labor and equipment time to make your backyard more beautiful. So we specialize in outdoor kitchens and outdoor entertainment areas, and we also do quite a lot of grading and drainage work.
I know that you're really interested in gardening. When did you start?
Sure, I started gardening probably 7 years ago, something like that. And I wanted to have an area to grow vegetables, and so I had a small patch available, and I decided that it would be a really good hobby, you know, a little bit of a pastime. We work a lot of hours here, and the busiest time of the day for us is early in the day and then also late in the day. In the middle of the day I have some time that I can garden, and so I planted a few vegetables and got really excited. And now it's a whole lot of fun for me to grow stuff that I can eat.
Why did you start gardening?
Well, I really started because I wanted a hobby that was outside, so I could enjoy the air, and something close, right outside our office. So my first vegetable garden was right outside the office, so I could quickly and easily just go outside and spend 20 minutes or a half an hour or an hour in the middle of the day, and like I said, get a little sunshine.
Now, I notice you have a greenhouse. Tell me a little bit about that. Why did you get started with that, and kind of what prompted you to build a greenhouse?
Well, you know, when I started vegetable gardening, I loved it so much. It was really a joy for me, and I spent a lot of hours in the vegetable garden. And when fall came and the frost came and my vegetable garden was gone for winter, I really, sort of went into a little depression, that I was missing my hobby for all winter long. So we started thinking about building a greenhouse, and we happen to have the space that's perfect for it. So we built a functioning greenhouse with, heated floor and automatic controls to cool it off when it gets too hot, and it gives me a chance to vegetable garden year-round.
So I have to ask, what's your personal opinion on going organic?
Well, my opinion is that more important than the organic craze for me personally is the idea of eating local and trying to purchase as many edible products locally as possible. So for me, I think it's more important to try to buy something, even if it's not totally organically grown, from close to home, than it is to buy something organic from California. To me, trucking expenses and the impact on the environment, trucking across the country or even across the world, is harder on the environment than sustainable farming practices. I think that there's an awful lot of local growers that maybe are not purely organic, but are doing really responsible gardening and responsible vegetable production, and animals too, for that matter. So for me, it's more important to eat locally than it is to worry about organics. I think the organic movement is a good idea, but I don't necessarily think that it can solve all of our food needs for the world.
Okay. Your garden completely organic?
It is not completely organic. It is mostly organic, but I do occasionally use a synthetic fertilizer. The rest of my practices are organic, though. I pull weeds by hand, and I do the cultivation myself. But that one thing is enough to make my garden not truly organic.
Now, everybody talks about gardening and the benefits of it.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of benefits do you see from gardening?
Well, for me personally, I find it very therapeutic to get outside and work in the soil, pull a few weeds, take care of plants. And I also get a lot of satisfaction in cooking what I grow, because I'm not a very good cook, but I can get inspired by cooking what I grow. So for me, the benefit really is that it gives me a hobby. It's close to home, literally, and it gives me, I think, a really healthy, terrific product that I can share.
You said that you actually knew a little bit about Sweetwater Organics.
Yes.
Could you perhaps tell me a little bit about what you know?
Sure. I haven't been there yet. It's on my list of places to tour. I understand that they do open to the public. But they are hydroponically growing fish perch, I think, and trout. And the idea is by growing the perch and the trout inside in water tanks, the fish produce a waste, and in order to clean the water, what Sweetwater is doing is running that water through trays where they're growing greens and other vegetables, and those plants absorb the excess nutrients from the water and clean the water that then goes back into the fish tanks. So the plants and the fish are giving each other what they need, and it gives them two products to sell. I know that they're right in the middle of downtown in Milwaukee, and that they are trying to, again, produce local products.
Right, that's exactly it. And then another component that Sweetwater is very proud of is their ability to bring in youth from the inner city, who many of whom have never even seen a garden or much less held a garden shovel, and introduce them to gardening. And do you think that gardening can be beneficial to these youth who otherwise could be doing things that maybe could get them in trouble?
Oh, absolutely. Anytime that you can get young kids inspired and excited about something, I think that it's terrific. It's always easier to excite young people than it is grown-ups. And the idea of starting a hobby of growing plants, and particularly growing edible plants, I think is really a terrific idea, because it also instills pride. When you vegetable garden, it's not a short-term payback, and when you vegetable garden, it takes some time. You have to care for those plants over a period of weeks or months before you get your harvest, and it means investing time and energy into that, and I think that's a really good lesson for kids, and that they learn to take care of something over time, and it gives them pride in themselves and their project.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Heather.
Well, thank you very much.